once you publish and send it out into the world, you've just got to hope it pops. And there are very few things you can do to control that. One is to get active now while you are still in the creation phase of your book on social media. I know this was talked about in the panel this afternoon, but if you don't already have like a Twitter handle, set one up. Even if you're like, I'm a Luddite, I don't want to get involved in technology that all these kids are using today. Like, do it, just do it, get over yourself. Like, this is a new tool, and you will find yourself addicted. Don't use it too much, because it can get inside your head, and you can play around and waste too much time. After you're done reading all of the internet, then you're gonna get on and read all of Twitter, and come up with your little bon mots. And you've gotta have a presence there. And I would say the thing you can do is take the community, the sense of community that you have at this conference, and make that a part of your presence in social media, on Facebook, on Tumblr. I don't have a Tumblr account, so I'm one to talk about this, but I am active on Twitter. I do have a personal Facebook page where I share pictures of the kids and food we've made, and I inflame my conservative relatives with my communist liberal views, and vice versa. And then I have my professional website, my professional Facebook page, where it's just book activities or things I write for the magazine. And you should create a professional Facebook page, where it's your name, -writer. And put little posts up about your process of writing. Had a great day today, had a terrible day today. Oh no, I accidentally deleted my file. Oh no, the cat knocked water over on my laptop, and now everything is gone, and the cat has been sent away for adoption. Put whatever happens to you on there, and maybe 2 or 3 people read it, and they're all relatives. Not the ones who disagree with your political views, probably, but you will gradually build an audience, but you don't build an audience if there's no content there. Go on Twitter and start. You don't have to compose thoughts that inspire people. Just read what's on there and retweet things you think are kind of cool. Somebody else will follow you and tweet your thoughts, because you're a sentient being who has interesting perspectives on the world. You don't have to do anything, but you should be doing something on social media, because the day is going to come when you really want that platform to work for you. And the thing I would advise you to do is on your Facebook page or on your Tumblr, or you should also create a website for yourself. Use your name, not your book or your series as the URL, but your name, because I say this as somebody who did not follow this advice originally. I had brutalyouth.com or brutalyouthbook.com as my URL, and my wife said, you're going to have other books, you should put your own name there in the URL. And she made my website. Also, marry somebody who knows how to make a website. It's important. I'm coming at these thoughts randomly. But she said, use your name, because you are the product you're selling, you the storyteller. And you'll have a book, and that's what you're hanging your shingle out to sell, to get readers for. But you will have other books. And so you want to have that presence. You need to establish this mechanism for positioning your book to the world. So on that website, the thing you can do that lots of writers who are already published will appreciate is review books, right? Because you should be reading anyway. You have a lot of homework to do in addition to writing. You should be reading as much as possible. You should be reviewing those books, whether you like them or not. I'm not saying you have to love everything, but you should write up a review of what you thought of the novel you just read. Put it on Twitter. If you like the book, tweet it at the writer. If you didn't like the book, you can still put it on Twitter. Don't tweet it at the writer. I hate that. What are we supposed to do? How are we supposed to respond to that? That's just etiquette. But if you're reviewing books, one, you're consuming that, and you're incorporating that DNA into your process, and you're subconsciously absorbing storytelling techniques. But also, you're doing a kindness for the author. There aren't many places to get reviewed anymore if you're an author, and so we rely on blogs and Tumblr accounts and people who are just passionate readers who develop little followings or big followings on Goodreads. I'm sure you're all on Goodreads, or check that site out, it's very popular. If you're reviewing, you're making contact with authors, and the time may come when you need to ask that author for advice. You can't ask the author, can you help me get published? Don't be that person who gets followed by an author after tweeting some cool stuff with them, and then say, I need to ask you some very big favors. Like, you can't do that, because if we're published, we just got over the wall ourselves. Chances are we can't get you in, but we can help in other ways. We can help with advice, and you will want to get, it doesn't cost anything to be retweeted, Hey, maybe you can give me a shout. I've, established a friendship with you. So don't be a creep. Don't ask for too much. Just be yourself. Be an engaged reader, and put your thoughts about the books that are out there into the world via social media. And you will find you make friends in the publishing world. One of the most interesting things I read when I was trying to get an agent, I would read interviews with agents in the writing magazines or writing blogs. And they would do these Q&As, and it really all comes down to one thing. How does somebody who's not an established author get read by you? Just read, not accepted as a client. And there's so much bullshit that comes out of agents. They go, oh, just write an excellent novel, you'll float to the top. Like, that's not how it actually works. There's so much slush. The immense amount of slush in the slush pile keeps anything that's really good weighed down so heavily it never rises to the surface. The one agent I read who gave an honest answer to this, and I wish I could remember who it was. He said, if you want the quickest way to guarantee you are read by me, be my mother's hairdresser. Right? And that's the truth. Have some connection where somebody says, hey, you should read this. It's good. He's my hairdresser, but he's good. And if you are on social media and you follow the different agents who are out there, if you follow their authors, and you've contributed in a healthy, non-creepy, non-stalker, non-overly favor-asking way, you will find that when the day comes that you actually have your pitch that you want to throw out into the world, then maybe you will get read. Maybe you will be the hairdresser in that moment. Okay, I know this guy, I like his reviews. Or this woman, I like what she wrote about my client. And if you build a little following on your site, you can start asking for Q&As. And the best part about this advice, about reviewing books, is free books.